Hi guys, think about this. We've been together for 1 year.
1 year.
So I think there has to be some kind of disclosure. How did that first year go? That's what we're going to be talking about. So stay tuned and follow. So, disclosures. That's not always a good thing to disclose what took place
Yeah.
between myself and Grace for this last year. So by the end of this month, it'll be a year that we've been living together.
Yeah.
But obviously, we've been married longer than that, but we weren't together because of the visa. We had to wait so long to get the visa. So, what has happened in this first year? And that's what I think we need to discuss. We've been keeping a bit quiet because it's been the holiday season. We've been on the beach. Just been enjoying and relaxing for the
Yeah.
last week. But now we've also thought about it and reminisced about what's happened over the last year and
Yeah.
maybe talk about it. And maybe you can glean, because this is going to affect all of you when you marry
Yeah.
a Filipino. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just talk about it. In the beginning,
Yeah.
everything was new for you, Grace. All
Yeah.
right. We had the honeymoon. We went up to the Victoria Falls. We went on
Yeah.
safari. It was all new, and I think it was a bit above your. It's a bit difficult for you to grasp everything, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. And that's why you keep on saying you want to go to the Victoria Falls again, because you just didn't really understand, because everything was so new,
Yeah.
coming from the Philippines to this kind of life. All right, so we're going to be talking about when we passed all that. We passed the what I call the honeymoon period, where you just want to show Grace everything. You're taking her around. You're showing her all the places where you live. Let's forget about all that. That we
Yeah.
did, and she enjoyed it. That was like the honeymoon period. So like the first 3 months, you're just showing her everything, showing everything.
Yeah.
But then reality starts happening, doesn't it? For her and for me. So
Yeah.
let's look at you firstly. When reality hit, that you're away from your previous life in the Philippines, you're now here in Africa.
Yeah.
You're now married to this foreigner. How did you feel? What were some of the challenges?
When I first land here, then living here in the big house with Jonathan, I had a many challenges that I couldn't even cope with my own self. Like especially you're from in the heat place, then you move in the, I know it's same for Philippines, is this kind of heat. I know for the Filipino Western foreigner they struggle also the heat in South Africa, but for me when I come here and this super heat, it seems to be I'm cold rather to say I'm hot. I don't have feel that even summer. I don't feel like I'm super hot. Then I feel that sticky,
Yeah.
that thick in your body. But I just feel that I'm always cold, especially the food. How can you manage and adjust
Okay, so
the
let's just
food?
take it at once. So the biggest issue for you was you feeling so cold.
Yeah,
And we've discussed that even when I took her to the Victoria Falls and it was like 45 degrees and everybody was cooking and stripping down, Grace was putting on jackets, lighting
yeah,
fires, and she just couldn't handle. So, okay, so just like I can't handle the Philippines because it's so hot, you were battling to be here in Africa
so cold.
because you feel it's so icy cold. Wow. Okay, so that was something she's battling with. And would you say it's an ongoing battle, or do you think you're adjusting? I mean, it's been a year now. Do you still get cold, or are you over it?
I didn't feel that it was changing on my own self. It's feel freezing ice cold.
When even now?
Yeah,
Okay, so look, guys, that's not a good sign, because that means if they're cold, it's not something they acclimatize to,
yeah,
which worries me, because if she can't acclimatize to this weather, which is not really cold. I mean, we're in summer now. It's hot. It's 30 degrees Celsius outside. So if she can't acclimatize, I'm worried about if I go to the Philippines. People say you acclimatize to that, but I don't know. If she can't acclimatize to this in a year, am I going to acclimatize if I was to go to the Philippines? It's a bit scary. Okay, so that was one point.
Yeah.
That was a bit of disclosure. You can't acclimatize. You're not happy. It's too cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other thing?
The food.
Food.
It's really different in Filipino food.
Mm. In what way?
Any kind of way. Like, first time I tasted samosa. We don't have samosa in Philippines. That's why I decided to try again. Even I tried that before, but I would like to try again. But the spicy. I can't manage to eat the spicy. I know myself. I love spicy also. Like, I don't know if you know this, that shumai, like a Japanese make.
Sushi.
Not
The fish.
no, it's pork inside. Then wraps that little tiny
Okay.
wraps. I like to have that when I'm school, but yeah, the food is
Okay.
I don't like this food.
All right. So the food is an issue, and she's talking about samosas. Like when we first came. Obviously, I was in this area. There's quite a lot of Indian culture here, so obviously we had the normal South African food, but then
Yeah.
I was exposing her to all kinds of food, like the Indian food, and she didn't like it at all. However, the last 2 weeks, all you've been asking for is what?
Samosa.
All she wants to eat now is samosa. She loves them. So I think at least the food she's starting to acclimatize.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just even not talking about Indian food, which is very spicy and so forth, but even the normal South African dishes that we have. For instance, if we barbecued on the fire,
Yeah.
I actually knew about barbecuing because in the Philippines they barbecue a lot, but they're just like barbecue, like hot dogs, that
Yeah.
type of stuff. Like here we barbecue steaks. Now she didn't like that; it was just too hard. She didn't
Yeah.
like biting into
Yeah.
a piece of steak because she
Yeah.
just felt it was too rough on her palate and all the rest.
Yeah. And I want cook well. Not I don't need to
Yes.
cut the
So
fish.
here, I mean, I like mine medium rare, and she just wants to burn and fry everything. But the next thing is even like things like baked potato. Obviously,
Yeah.
I know in the Philippines they just eat rice, but like here we like with our barbecue maybe to have a nice big roast potato
Yeah.
and do it in tin
Yeah.
foil and cut it in half with a lot of butter. Like to her, that's a no-no. Like, well, what are you doing? And that's. But now you like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Now she loves it. So I think, unlike the weather, which she says she can't deal with, I think with the food, she's getting there. Huh?
Yeah.
She's getting there. So she can eat a wide variety. And this is why, the Filipinos, they have a bit of a thing with foreigners. Why don't you eat our food? Why don't you eat our
Yeah.
food? But, if you look at the other way around, why don't they eat our food? Why don't they get used to, and when I say our food, it's not just our food. Like she's talking about Indian food. Okay, she's talking about other nations' food.
Yeah.
And yet, when they do try it, they eventually do like it, hey?
Yeah.
Because we had bunny chow. We've got another bunny chow today that she's going to enjoy.
So spicy.
I mean, tell them what bunny chow is, what that Indian dish is.
It's like that half bread. Then you
Yeah.
need gonna put some. You need to make a like hole, I think.
Yeah, so basically
Yeah.
they cut the loaf of bread in half.
Yeah,
They
half.
take all the
Yeah.
insides out, and then they fill it with basically curry.
Yeah, curry.
And then they stuff the bread back in, and then you buy and eat that. Now it's a bit of a thing they do here, and it's quite nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go crazy for it, but it's quite nice.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'd prefer to eat like a few samosas than that.
Me too.
Okay, so it's the fact of the weather, the food. What are other challenges you've had?
And when you're having social occasion,
Mm.
especially when we're together, sometimes we're going to beach near to the house.
Mm.
Then my husband told to me why we should not go to there and like I like swim,
Mm.
no quick swim.
Mm.
Then yes, we go there, and then when I look at people surrounding that beach, and I'm asking myself, why did people they used to wear a bikini or a swimsuit when they having a beach day or swimming in the beach.
Yeah.
But for me as a Filipina, we don't have we're not used to it to wear a bikinis. So my struggle is why should I wear a bikini like the Western foreigner here? That's what I don't know. I could understand how can I cook that.
All right. So yeah, they have an issue about what is it, like exposing their skin.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, when you dig down deep into it, because I said to her, you don't have to do it. I mean, I just don't like the fact she wants to go and swim in the sea fully clothed. I mean, to me, that just boggles my mind because we normally go and we want a suntan.
Yeah.
And this is actually what it boils down to. They just don't want to get their skin. I thought it was a modesty thing. I thought but no, they don't want to get their skin to go like darker. But anyway, I still tell her, no, you got to put the bikini on because I like that. I mean, how can you go to the beach and just wear longs and so that's a struggle she's had because she's not used to that. So that's been a bit of a struggle. So those three things. What else?
I think what we call it, the people here and the language is different. First time I came here, I'm struggled to make a conversation to English people. And also people, sometimes you came any different country, then you speak at other language, you struggle also. But me, especially the foreigner and the black, I don't know I don't know about them, and also the language. That's it.
So that kind of scares you a little bit, I think, because you're hesitant to talk.
Yeah.
Like I asked her, why don't you just ask the guy, like if she's looking for something in the shops, and she asked me, and I said, there's the guy that works here. Just ask him where it is. And she doesn't want to ask him. She's too scared to talk to him because she doesn't know if she's gonna, I don't know, what to understand him, or she just feels intimidated. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's an issue, and I think on a social level, you've had some problems too. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes back to this being accepted and this, where we live. Obviously, this is more or less a very kind of a European community.
Yeah, that's true.
And for them to accept Asians and other nationalities is not always that easy.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if you look at the age gap, it like throws more wood on the fire type of thing. And then Grace has to suffer because they don't want to, they just pull away. But that's what it is. And I just tell her, you've got to get out there and make friends. Don't expect people to be friendly to you. Because in that way, it's not like the Philippines. You can't just go and talk to anybody and expect them to be, super friendly like the Philippines. That's what makes the Philippines, because you can do that.
When we go to mall, I know that white people they're always complaining and wondering what the heck. Just married a young woman. Jesus look like he treated like a child. His child. I know his eyes when they watching us when we're walking the mall. Then after that, if they they go to shopping mall and then we go out, I told to Jonathan, that girl like that. They not agree with us, especially me. You married an older man.
Yeah, but you got to have the right kind of mindset, isn't it? Does that bother you really?
And no, I did not. I could not affect what people look about us.
Because really, you're only out about 10% of your life, so you're going to get those looks. You're going to get that. I mean, I even had that, like I said, with my previous wife. I mean, she was 3 years younger than me, but she was very pretty. And unfortunately, I've got this face that I've got, and I had that even then. I even had this then, so it's not a big deal. It's one of those things, and you've got to accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
So those are the issues. There's 5 of them basically, and they're probably ongoing, and there's probably more.
Yeah.
But the point is to this, those issues, they might seem like trivial. I mean, you're probably thinking, what's that? Why are they worried about that? But when you've got a situation when there's the age difference, when it's European versus Asian, all of these little things, they kind of add up, eh?
Yeah.
And they can cause stress between yourselves, because she'll discuss it with me. She'll want to know why it's upsetting for her, whether it's the food, whether it's the place she's living. The house is too big. She can't cope with cleaning this house because she's only used to 1 bedroom. Blah 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 blah. It becomes extra things, trivial things, that now become something that you've got to think about. Whereas normally, if a normal situation, you wouldn't even consider these issues at all. They wouldn't have even come on the radar. But for us, in the last year, these things we start seeing, and they just a few of the things.
Yeah.
All right. So now that's from her perspective. That's the issues she's looking at. Okay. From my perspective, I also see those things.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I can't understand from her why it's an issue. Why she's making it an issue. Why is the food an issue? Why is the heat an issue?
Yeah.
Why is this an issue? Because, it's just things you've got to get over in life. So it's hard for me to kind of understand sometimes the way she feels.
Yeah.
And that obviously then puts her in a bad position, you see. So it's something that us as Westerners and foreigners who are thinking of going for a Filipina have to take into consideration. You're going to have to look at things that normally you wouldn't have had to think about.
No.
And they seem trivial to you, but they're major to a Filipina. Major issues. And they make her not want to like a place, which you should think is like a paradise. You would think, like, you're taking somebody from the province out of, maybe like you could view it as poverty, and bring him to a place where they want for nothing.
Yeah.
How can they not be happy? And it just boggles your mind when you start hearing about all the things that they preferred about living where they were living.
Yeah.
So that is the juncture position you find yourselves in. That it's not a case of just saying, well, I can make her life better for her. Because some of them don't want their lives better.
Yeah.
They're so used to the way they were living, and they think that's actually how one should live. And they look at us and the way we waste money, or the way we got these bigger houses than we should have, or the way we should accept everybody from every tribe, nation, tongue, whatever. And they can't understand why we don't do these things. So that is something for you to also consider. So overall, we've just taken like 5 things that we've disclosed could be an issue, and something for you to think about. So even if everything is honky-dory, even if you're very happy with your spouse, even if she's very happy with you, it doesn't mean that she's happy with the circumstances, her new circumstances that she finds herself in.
Yeah.
Okay. And therefore, she pulls you all the time. Let's go back to Philippines. Let's go back to Philippines. Let's go back to Philippines. Thinking that it'll be better there. Not understanding that all the things that's bugging her, when I get to the Philippines, it will bug me. And she'll be in the position that I'm in right now, where I'm hoping that she enjoys it here, but she's not. But then I go there, and she's hoping I'm going to enjoy it there, but I'm not. You see? Because I've got bigger issues, like the security of where she lives.
Yeah.
That's a major issue. Whereas here, I can sleep nicely every night knowing everything. I can go out wherever I want to go.
Yeah.
I can take her anywhere, and I know she's going to be safe. Now, to me, those are the big issues. Those are the big things that you look for. Food, making friends, climate. Maybe you have to put on another jersey if you're cold. Those are lesser issues than security and safety, and having access to a kind of standard of living that's going to keep you healthy, not just physically healthy, but mentally healthy as well. So that's just some of the things we thought we'll talk to you about as we considered this last year. What goals did we achieve? Or what goals did we achieve? Well, we're still here after a year. I think some people thought it might have only lasted a few months.
Yeah.
But it's, we've managed the first year of living together and the first 18 months of being married. What are some of the goals we've achieved? Well, we've just stayed together, really.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed a few good holidays. We're slowly getting into with the community. We're slowly making friends around this area. You've been able to help some of your family back home. There's been a few deaths, and she's been able to finance that. So there's some things that have been achieved. It's not all lost, eh?
Yeah.
Your health has improved. You've stopped snoring. You've got your figure back. There's lots of things that have happened that have improved in 1 year.
Yeah.
So we can appreciate the little bits. Okay. All right, we'll leave it off there, and we hope that you gain something from this frank chat that we've had. And we're going to talk about, I think we're going to talk about phones next, eh?
Yeah.
Filipinas and their mobiles. That's something you better not miss. All right. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe. We still need to increase our subscribers.
Yeah.
And please comment. We answer every single comment that comes along.
Like
it, yeah. So it starts showing, and we get up in the ranks. All right.
Share.
What else, Grace? Your last comment. What's your last comment about this last year? Are you happier this year than you were last year, or?
I think I'm happy now this year than last year.
Well, we should say 2 years, because you were married. you just got married. Anyway, that's another discussion. All right, guys.
Okay.
Keep well. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.